Hi VIPs, welcome to the Fall Trends Happy Hour. I'm Stephanie Goldsmith and I'm going to be demonstrating the smoky eye with a pop of color, which hasn't anyone told you? It's like the most popular thing this fall. I'm just kidding, that's my snotty fashion girl take on it. So this is kind of a brave look and I hope that you'll give it a try. I'm going to talk about what I've done first. This is concealer mixed with Must Do, heavily mixed with Must Do, and that is the foundation that I'm wearing, is just concealer number 2 mixed with a little bit of number 5 and a little bit of number 6 and a little bit of 0, the 4 that you know I love. And I put those on with our buffer brush mixed heavily with Must Do, and then set it with our setting spray to get a very dewy finish. On my lips I'm wearing Blush Hour and our number 1 the number 1 color for our lip liner. That's what I put on first. I mixed in a tad of the number 6 concealer and then went over it with Blush Hour for a nude lip. So without further ado, I'm going to take my trusty number 11 brush and I'm going to pack on some black. So right onto the lid. Don't worry about making it pretty right now, just get it on there. Go back and forth to the makeup and you're sort of breaking up your eyelid into little sections. Make sure that you get right into the tear duct. This is the most often overlooked space right here. And then also make sure that you're right at your lash line, that you don't have a little pink strip. Sometimes if you have hooded eyes, you'll need to lift the skin up to be able to get right in there. And now that I have it all on there, you can see my lines are not pretty. Now I can clean off my brush and go back in and buff out the seam. The seam is where the color that I just applied meets the naked skin. And I'm also stretching it up. So as I'm going, I'm kind of raising the brush up a little bit, which is moving some of that product upward and into the crease area. Okay, quickly gonna go do the other side. When I get to the outside, I'm gonna work my way in so that I don't have too much of a tail and I have control over how far it goes past my lash. You don't really want it to go too far. When you're blending it, you can take it a little bit further. But when you're packing it on this heavily, you really wanna be careful not to overextend. Okay, so now it's on there. Clean the brush. This is why you have to have a makeup table. That should be your first like present to yourself for fall, is to get yourself a vanity area that you love to be at. Put your favorite things at it, your favorite candle, your favorite little vase. Make it a place that you can't wait to spend time at. Okay, so don't get caught up in perfection because we still have so many layers to go. All right, so now we're gonna do the bottom. Tiny tap, tiny, tiny tap. And this is called the liner smudge brush for this very reason. You want to join in the corners. Make sure that the liner goes all the way around. Okay, so we're blacked out. Now we're going to clean the brush again and just blend a little bit, pulling it down. You want to make this really smudgy. This is a very moody look. And when you have it this heavy on top, it's okay to be pretty smudgy on the bottom. Always focus a little bit more on the outside corner and the inside corner and bringing that smudge down, and the middle just a little bit less. Okay. This is the palette that I'm using. Isn't it gorgeous? Doesn't it look so Egyptian and magical? Okay, so I created this myself. I just popped out the colors from different palettes, and these are the colors that I'm using. And we are now going to take Peachy Glean And I'm going to go on the edge of the black and work some of this in. Same brush. You could use a different brush at this point. I am trying to show you the versatility of this one brush, but certainly a larger brush would make this go a little bit faster. For those of you that may not watch regularly, I live in a construction zone right now, so that's why I don't have a regular roof or walls. No big deal. So not necessary for this makeup look. Okay, and that's kind of creating a little bit of a transition for us. We're going to do the same on the bottom. Just work it into that line. This is adding depth. You're not going to see this a whole lot. This is what I call one of the disappointing steps where you're like, meh, there's really no magic there. Okay, and now the pop of color. Are you ready? So I'm going to dive right in. This is our Lottie color, the only blue that we really have. You don't need much of it. It's like a Sharpie. And we're going to put it right on the middle of the crease. I know, what? Sounds absurd, right? And you can go as bold or as conservative as you want. But the idea is just to give that little hint of color even when you're not blinking. So usually the safer way to do it is to have your bold color right down here, and that way when you blink they see it. But this time we're putting it up here so that it's always there, and it's just going to grab people's attention. And I'm not even going all the way across. This is just kind of, it's just kind of this middle thing. It's very scary. I know some of you are thinking, I can't do it. I just can't. But how do you know you can't until you try? This may become your best look. And if blue is just too bold, in the picture the model had a kind of a red color on, but blue is really a little bit more of it's the most popular color for this pop that people are doing for fall right now, according to Harper's Bazaar. Okay, so how fun is that? All right, now we're going to blend out those seams just a little bit, and so I am going to switch to a dome blender brush, and I'm going to add this little bit of gold right here into the corner. Because that's fun. I'm going to wipe off the brush, go back into Blush Hour, and I'm going to blend just a little bit above that blue and make a little bit of a transition color. Okay, so I have this kind of weird little spot right here of black. This Blush Hour is going to help sort of create a transition that doesn't look quite so awkward. There we go. And final step, a little bit of number 41 right on the brows to clean up under the brow area and make it look clean, cohesive, and give your brows that bold look. There we go. Now you can see it, you can't see it, you see it, you can't see it. So it's super fun. I've got a little bit of cleanup here to do on my, yeah, I just kind of made a mess there. Well, quickly, let me show you how easy that is to clean up. All right, we're just gonna take the foundation brush that I used. And there you go. Enjoy fall, y'all.